Today Hanuman has chosen to enter into this Harikatha. On the day of Gaura Purnima, we are very glad to introduce Kishkinda Kanda and also the glorious devotee Hanuman in our Ramayana. Do a little prayer and we'll get into our main stream. पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुष्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को नयाति पराङ्गतिं यत्पिबं सततं रामचरितामृतासागरम् अदृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषं गोष्पदीकृतवाराशं मसकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम् अंजनानंदनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीसमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् आमिषीकृतमार्ताण्डं गोष्पदीकृतसागरं तृणीकृतदशग्रीवम् आञ्जनेयं नमाम्यहम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोःसलिलसलीलं यशोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनेव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनम् यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि यः कर्णाञ्जलिसम्पुटैः हरः सम्यक् पिबत्यादरात् वाल्मीकिर्वदनारविन्दगलितं रामायणाख्यं मधुः जन्मव्याधिजराविपत्तिमरणैः अत्यन्तसोपद्रवं संसारसह विहाय गच्छति पुमान् विष्णोर्पदं शाश्वतम् तदुपगतसमाससन्धियोगं सममधुरोपनतार्धवाक्यबद्धं रघुवरचरितं मुनिप्रणीतं दशशिरसश्च वदं निशामयध्वम् वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूतानां रामसागरगामिनि पुनादु भुवनं पुण्यात् रामायणं महानदी श्लोकसारसमाकीर्णं सर्गकल्लोलसङ्कुलं काण्डग्राह्यमहामीनं वन्दे रामायणार्णवम् वेदवेदे परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजं वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना वैदेही सहितं सरुद्रमुतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाच इति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं वाक्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम् वामे भूमिसुता पुरश्च हनुमान् पाश्चात् सुमित्रासुतः शत्रुघ्नो भरतश्च पार्श्वदलयोः वायव्यादिकोणेषु च सुग्रीवश्च विभीषणश्च युवराट् तारासुतो जाम्बवान् मध्ये नीलसरोजकोमलरुचिं रामं भजे श्यामलम् माता रामो मत्पिता रामो भ्राता रामो मत्सखा राघवेशः सर्वस्वं मे रामचन्द्रो दयालुः नान्यदेवं नैव जाने न जाने साकेते शरदिन्दुकुन्दधवले सौदे महामण्डपे पर्यस्ता अगरधूपदीपललिते कर्पूरदीपोज्ज्वले सुग्रीवाङ्गदजाम्बवत्परिवृतं सौमित्रिणा सेवितं लीलामानुषविग्रहं रघुवरं रामं भजे श्यामलं मेघश्यामं महाबाहुं स्थिरसत्त्वं दृढव्रतं कदा द्राक्षामहे रामं जगतः शोकनाशनम् जयत्यतिबलो रामो लक्ष्मणश्च महाबलः राजा जयति सुग्रीवा राघवेन अभिपालितः दासोऽहं कौसलेन्द्रस्य रामस्य क्लिष्टकर्मणः हनुमान् शत्रुसैन्यानां निहन्तां मारुतात्मजः न रावणसहस्रं मे युद्धे प्रतिबलं भवेत् शिलाभिस्तु प्रहर्तारपादपैश्च सहस्रशः अर्धयित्वां पुरीं लङ्काम् अभिवाद्यश्च मैथिलीं समृद्धार्दो गमिष्यामि विशदां सर्वराक्षसां धर्मात्मा सत्यसन्धश्च रामो दासरिर्यदि पौरुषे च अप्रतिद्वन्द्वः शरयेन जहि रावणीम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवगौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे तपस्वाध्याय निरतां तपस्विन् वाग्विदाम्बरं नारद परिवप्रच्छ वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गवम् ओम रामाय नमः हरे कृष्ण. The last three prayers that we did, Meghasyamam Mahabahum Sthirasatvam Dridavratam Kada Drakshamahe Ramam Jagatah Sokanashana. This is the sloka given to us by Bharata himself when he returned to Ayodhya from the kingdom of Asupati, and when he knew the news that Rama has been exiled, then he laments and then he utters this sloka that Meghasyamam Mahabahum Sthirasatvam Dridavratam Kada Drakshamahe, when can I see that Meghasyama, Mahabahum, Sthirasatvam, Dridavratam? When can I see that Lord Ramachandra? Kada Drakshamahe Ramam Jagatah Sokanashanam, one who destroys the sorrows of the world. And in the second prayer that we did, was Jet Yatibalo Ramo Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha. I mean, from the last, if you take, the last 3 slokas, this was sung by Hanuman. Since we are introducing Hanuman today, I just wanted to tell you the importance of it. Hanuman tells this, he utters this prayer at the time when he reaches Lanka, he finds Sita, then he decides that not just seeing Sita and returning would help. I have to count the enemy armies and I have to weigh them, what their strength is, and then take back this message to Rama. How to instigate fight between Ravana and myself. So Hanuman contemplates on that. And then he sits on the top of a Torana Stambha, on a pillar which is supporting a arch. And then after destroying the Ashokavana, when he gets the news that the Rakshasas are coming towards him, 80,000 Rakshasas come in the first instance to attack Hanuman. At that time, he recites this prayer. Jetyatibalo Ramo Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha Raja Jaiti Sugriva Raghavena Abhipalitaha Dasoham Kosalendrasya Ramasya Klishta Karmanaha Hanuman Shatru Sainyanam Nihantam Marutatmajaha Naravana Sahasram Me Yudhe Pritibalam Bhavet Shilabistu Prahartara Padapaisya Sahasrasaha Ardhaitvam Purim Lankam Abhivadhyascha Maidilim Samrudardo Gamishyami Mishatam Sarvarakshasam. He says, let 1,000 Ravanas come today. He cannot defeat me. I will kill that Ravana today. Hanuman says this because I have the strength of, I am being blessed by Rama and Lakshmana. Jet Yatibalo Ramo Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha Raja Jaiti Sugriva Raghavena Abhipalitaha. And I have been sent here by Sugriva also. So I can kill thousands of Ravanas today. That's how Hanuman prays on that day. When Hanuman sees Sita, he gets a darshana of both Rama and Sita. Hanuman is the first one. Sorry. But anyway, today, and the next prayer is given by Lakshmana. Dharmatma Satyasandascha Ramo Dasaridiryadi Paurushecha Apratitdvandaha Sarayana Jahiravani. I would like to say this verse today because in Kishkinda Kanda, Rama kills Vali. Lot of people have this question like, did Rama do the right thing by killing Vali? Did he do it in the right way? We will explain that in detail when Rama kills Vali. But today we will briefly explain what Lakshmana meant by this. He says, Dharmatma Satyasandasya Ramo Dasaridiryadi Paurushecha Apratidvandaha Sarayana Jahiravani. If my brother is Dharmatma, is the treader of the path of the righteous, Satyasandasya is the speaker of the truth, always. Ramo Dasaridiryadi. And I am not talking about any other Rama, but that Rama who is the son of Dasaratha. Paurushecha Apratidvandaha. And in courage and valor, and if there is no equal to Rama, then Sarayana Jahiravani, and then this arrow would kill Ravana. So saying, he unleashes Aindrastra onto Indrajit. Indrajit, who has defeated Indra, thereby attained the name Indrajit, was killed by Indra. I mean, an astra presided over by the deity of Indra. How can Indra himself was defeated by Indrajit, but an astra for which Indra is the deity could kill Indrajit? It is hard to understand, because that Aindrastra was again empowered by the mantra that Lakshmana said, that if my brother is righteous, if my brother is the speaker of the truth, if my brother has no equal in courage, then this arrow would kill Indrajit, son of Ravana. So the astra by itself didn't have any power, but because Rama is righteous, Rama is truthful, whatever Rama has done so far is right, that's why the arrow killed Indrajit. So there are no doubts about Rama's righteousness or Rama's deeds. Okay. Kishkinda Kanda introduces Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavanta, Nala, Neela, Panasa, Dhumra, Gandhamadana, so many Vanaras. So now Rama last week took leave of Shabari, and then Sabari left for the Satyaloka. Then Rama is traversing towards the Pampa river, and he just came within the vicinity of Pampa river, and then when the spring season began, and the trees were full of bouquets of flowers, and there was a rain of flowers everywhere, and Rama looked at all this, and he saw the crystal clear waters of Pampa river. Then Rama told to Lakshmana, "My dear Lakshmana, this gentle breeze of the spring season is touching me, and the arrows of the love god Cupid, are piercing my heart. The same breeze that is touching me right here must have been, coming from Sita. That breeze should have also touched Sita also. If I am undergoing so much of anguish, how much anguish should Sita must be undergoing? I am sure that she must have killed herself by now. Not able to bear the separation from me. Oh Lakshmana, look at that gallinule bird. It's like a water bird. Look at how it is singing. Whenever this bird used to call, Sita used to call me and ask me to listen to that bird. But today she is not here within my vicinity. Look at all other birds. Look at the peahens that are following the peacocks. Because the spring season is such a season that would invoke love for your beloved. And if at all Sita was here at this time, she would have come with me. She would have desired to sport with me." And so saying, Rama explains the spring season very beautifully until the end of the chapter. And he weeps and weeps. Then he tells, "Look at that crow which is flying in the sky. Earlier, the very same bird was sitting on a tree and cawing. And that represents that I will lose Sita in future. If a bird sits on the branch, if the crow sits on the branch and if it caws, that means that you are going to lose something. And the very same bird today is flying in the sky and it is cawing, which indicates that I will get Sita very soon." And Rama starts lamenting again. Look at all those flowers. Look at the honeybees that are singing. It is said that Samaveda, the singing of the honeybee is very much the drone that you hear. It's very much similar to Samaveda. So Rama shows Lakshmana all these signs of the spring season, and he tells him that I am very much troubled by the presence of the spring season, and he laments. Then Lakshmana gives him strength that, "My dear brother, cast off this compassionate heart, cast off these feelings of love, take the feelings of vehemence and courage, because that alone right now is necessary for you to kill Ravana. If you are in love, if you are compassionate, you would not get that vehement nature to kill Ravana. So get the nature of vehemence and establish yourself in your own nature and get up. And this lamenting is of no use. If you do not try for a task, if you always lament for a desire without trying it, it would never be accomplished. It is useless, it is futile. Get up, take strength, and let us try in searching for Sita. Let us meet that Sugriva who can help us search Sita and who can help us kill that Rakshasa Ravana. Let that Ravana be even in the womb of Diti. Let that Ravana be in the womb of Diti. I would enter her womb and kill that Ravana. Get up." So saying, Lakshmana gave strength to Ravana. Then Rama got up and he started walking towards Rishyamukha Parvata. Then Lakshmana also followed him like an elephant. Here it is described that Lakshmana walked like an elephant behind Ravana. Behind Rama. Yeah, he obviously walks behind Ravana like an elephant, but like an enraged elephant who is going to kill him with his tusks. But today he is following like an obedient elephant behind Rama. So when they were both coming, Sugriva saw Rama and Lakshmana from a distance. Sugriva and his 4 faithful adherents, they were staying on Rishyamukha Parvata. And Sugriva saw Rama coming, and his heart was agitated. He was fearful. He thought, might be, Vali could have sent 2 warriors to kill me. And Sugriva was agitated. And immediately he jumped from Rishyamukha Parvata hill to another peak. And following him, his faithful adherents also leaped across the mountains. Peak by peak after peak they were jumping, and finally they approached the hermitage of Matangamani. Means, almost near where Shabari was living, within that vicinity they approached. Because Vali cannot enter that vicinity. I will discuss it in detail later. So when they were flying like that, the fly jumpers, namely Nala, Nila, Tara, Hanuman and Sugriva, when they were following Sugriva, while jumping, they broke the trees, they crashed, some huge trees, and also they frightened the animals in that forest, the wild cats, lions, tigers, and many other monkeys and other beasts. They were frightened and then they ran away because of these huge vanaras jumping the trees and then going towards Matangamani ashrama. And all the fly jumpers, all the adherents, they approached Sugriva and then stood with palm fold like this around him. But at this time, for the first time, Hanuman is introduced here. Hanuman speaks out. And the first word that comes out of Hanuman is Sambrama Tyajatamesha. That means cast off all fears, ward off all fears. That's the first sentence uttered by Hanuman. It says, Sambrama Tyajatamesha Sarvaihi Krite Vali. It says, do not be afraid of Vali. He can never come here. Malayo Girivaro. That means on this mountain Malaya, there can never be any friend of Vali, because that's a curse given to Vali. So nobody can approach here. So he says, Sambrama Tyajatamesha. Then he talks to Sugriva. Sugriva, you behave just like a monkey. It is interesting that Hanuman, being a Vanara, he himself is telling Sugriva that you just behaved like a monkey. You have showed your fickle-mindedness very clearly. There is no fear from those two warriors who are approaching here. I see no fear from them. And you being a king, how can you act like this? Your followers will never respect you if you do so. Listen to me. Establish yourself in your natural form. Then Sugriva stood and then he asked Hanuman, Hanuman, whatever you say might be right, but how can one not be afraid of such a warrior? Look at them. They have rounded shoulders. They are holding bows in hands and two quivers tied to their backs. And maybe Vali has befriended them. Vali has so many friends in Kshatriya race. They might have come here to kill me. And who in this world will not be afraid of such warriors? And look at them. Sugriva said so. Then he asked Hanuman, you approach both of them and you disguise yourself in the form of a Brahmana. Or, he doesn't say Brahmana, he says you disguise yourself. You go, you approach them, you talk to them nicely. Meanwhile, they should face me. Then you praise me in front of them. If they are angered, then that means they are my enemies. But if they are pleased, that means they are my friends. So you go near to those two warriors and speak about me and find out what the intent of their heart is. Are they friends of Vali or are they in search of something else? Could it be that they are in search of me itself to kill me? Because Sugriva was so afraid that he thinks everybody is searching for him, whoever it is. So when he said that, Hanuman took leave of Sugriva and he takes the form of a bhikshu. There are various versions, like some say Hanuman took the form of a sannyasi. But if he had taken the form of a sannyasi, when he approaches Rama and Lakshmana, he would not bow down. But the first thing Hanuman does is he bows down. So we'll discuss about it. Bhikshu Rupam, he says Kapi Rupam Parityajya. That means he has discarded the form of Kapi and he took the form of a Bhikshu, like a mendicant. That means a Brahmana boy, a Brahmachari. So and then he approached Rama and Lakshmana. First he did the Pranipatya, then he respected them with all sweet words, then he started to address them. And he said, Rajarship Deva Pratimo Tapasau Samstitavratau Desham Khatam Imam Praptau Bhavantau Varavarninau Trasayantau Mrigagana Manyacha Vanacharinaha Pampa Tiraruhan Vrikshan Vikshamanau Samantataha Imam Nadim Subajalam Sobayantau Tarasvinau धैर्यवन्तौ सुवर्णाभौ कौ युवां चीरवाससौ निश्वासन्तौ वरभुजौ पीडयन्ता इमः प्रजाः सिंहविप्रेक्षितौ वीरौ महाबलपराक्रमौ शक्रचापनिभेश्चापे गृहीत्वा शत्रुनाशिनौ श्रीमन्तौ रूपसम्पन्नौ वृषभश्रेष्ठविक्रमौ हस्तिहस्तोपमभुजौ द्युतिमन्तौ नरर्षभौ प्रभया पर्वतेन्द्रः असौ युवयोः अवभासितः राज्यार्हौ अमरप्राख्यौ कथं देशम् इह आगतौ पद्मपत्रेक्षणौ वीरौ जटामण्डलधारिणौ अन्योन्यसदृशौ वीरौ देवलोकात् इह आगतौ यादृच्च एव सम्प्राप्तौ चन्द्रसूर्यौ वसुन्धरां विशालवक्षुसौ वीरौ मानुषौ देवरूपिणौ सिंहस्कन्दौ महा उत्साहौ समादौ इव गोवृषौ आयताश्च सुवृत्ताश्च बाहवः परिगोपमः सर्वभूषणभूषार्षः किमर्थं न विभूषिताः उभौ योग्यौ अहं मन्ये रक्षितुं पृथिवीमिमं ससागरवनं कृत्स्नां विन्ध्यमेरु विभूषिताम् इमे च धनुषि चित्रे श्लाक्षणे चित्रे अनुलेपने प्रकाशते यथा इन्द्रस्य वज्रहेम विभूषिते सम्पूर्णाश्च शीतैः बाणैः तूनाश्च शुभदर्शनाः जीवितान्तकारघोरैः ज्वालाब्धि इव पन्नगैः महाप्रमाणौ विपुलौ तप्तहाटकभूषणौ खड्गौ एतद्विराजते निर्मुक्त इव भुजगौ एवं मां परिभाषन्तां कस्माद्वै न अभिभाषतः सुग्रीवो नाम धर्मात्मा कश्चिद्वानरपुङ्गवः वीरो विनिकृतो भ्रात्रा जगद्भ्रमति दुःखितः. And he again says that aham preshitastena sugrivasya mahatmana rajnya vanaramukhyanam hanuman nama vanarah. So he starts with rajarship deva pratimau tapasau samstitavratau, royal saints. He says his address is royal saints, rajarship deva pratimau, you look like the deities. Tapasau samstitavratau, blessed with taken vows, sacred vows. Desham katham imam prapto, why have you come to this countryside, into the forests? Desham katham imam prapto bhavantau varavarninau trasayantau mragaganam anyacha vanacharinah. And all these beasts and the forest is glowing in your glory, is being reflected in your glory. Pampa tira ruhan vrikshan vikshamano samantatah. You have approached this lake Pampa and look at all the scenery, the trees around the Pampa river. They are all reflecting light from your radiance. And these wild beasts are scattered in fear because of your presence. For what reason have you come here? And he says, Simha viprekshitau, Virau Mahabala Parakramau. Simha viprekshitau, you are walking like lions. How come you are here? Your body seems to be that of regal appearance, but you are dressed as ascetics. May I find know the reason why? And he also says that Prabhaya Parvatendraha, this mountain peak is glowing by reflecting the light emitted from you. He's talking about, everything in this forest is being is radiant because of your presence. And Rajyarha Amaraprakyo, he says, you are eligible to rule the entire universe. Rajyarho Amaraprakyo Desham Katham Iha Agata. Why have you come here? Padmapatrekshano Virau Jatamandala Dharino says you have lotus-like eyes and you have matted hair. Yadrichayeva Sampraptau Chandrasurya Vasundharam. By providence you have arrived here. Just like the earth begot sun and the moon, similarly this forest begot you and Lakshmana. Yadrichayeva Sampraptau Chandrasurya Vasundharam. Visala Vakshasau Virau Manushav Devarupinau. You have broad chest and you are looking as if you are the sons of some divine entity. And then he praises about their bows. Image Dhanusi, Chitre, Slakshne, Chitra, Anulepane. They are wondrous bows you are holding. Those bows that you are holding are wonderful. How come you are here in this forest? Ubhav Yogyo, Aham Manye, Rakshitum Prithivim Imam. I believe, he says, Aham Manye, I believe that you are eligible to rule this entire universe. Sasagara Vanam Kritsnam, Vindhyameru Vibhushitam, including the Vindhya mountains, Sagara, and this forest. And finally, he goes on talking like this, and he loses his patience. Rama is not talking at all. He is smiling at Hanuman. And even Lakshmana is not talking. If you know the character of Rama, Purvabhashi Prem Vadaha. When I describe the qualities of Ramachandra, he is Purvabhashi Prem Vadaha. He talks first. He is the icebreaker. He talks first. He breaks the conversation. But when Hanuman came, he did not speak first. He let Hanuman talk. And Hanuman kept on talking. Still Rama did not reply. Finally, Hanuman lost his patience and now he says, Evam mam paribhashantam. He's saying, I have been talking for so long time. Evam mam paribhashantam kasmad vaina abhibhashitah. Why are you not talking? Sugrivo nama dharmatma kaschid vanara pungavaha viro vinikrito bhratra jagat brahmati dukkitah. There is a vanara named Sugriva. Sugrivo nama dharmatma, and he is righteous. Viro vinikrito bhratra. He is the brother of the valiant Vali, and he has been roaming all around the earth, jagat brahmati dukkitah, in fear. Aham preshitastena Sugrivasya mahatmana. Upon the encouragement of Sugriva, I came here. Rajnya Vanara Mukhyanam. And Sugriva is the king of the Vanaras. Rajnya Vanara Mukhyanam. Hanuman Nama Vanaraha. My name is Hanuman. Now he introduces, my name is Hanuman. Then he asked, who are you? Why have you come here? And he also tells that upon the request of Sugriva, I have taken this form as a bhikshu. Then to please him. But my actual form is a Vanara form. And Bhikshu Rupa Pratichinnam, Kapi Rupam, he got the Vanara form again and he renounced the form of the Brahmana. Then when Hanuman spoke for such a long time, Rama looked at Lakshmana and said, Sachivo api Kapindrasya, this friend of Sugriva. You see, we have been searching for Sugriva and Sugriva himself is in search of us and he has sent a worthy messenger like Hanuman. Then Rama describes, O Lakshmana, you talk to this Hanuman and inform him that we are here to take shelter of Sugriva. Then he says, look at his speech, look at this wordsmith, Hanuman. Nan Rigveda Vinitaha, Nan Yajurveda Darinaha, Nan Samaveda Vidushaha, Sakyaneva Prabhashitu. One who has not mastered the Rigveda, Nan Rigveda Vinitaha, Nan Samaveda Dharinaha, one who has not remembered, Nan Yajurveda Dharinaha, one who has not memorized the entire Yajurveda, Nan Samaveda Vidushaha, one who has not trained and had been an expert in Samaveda, cannot talk like this. And he says, Nyunam Vyakaranam Kritsnam Anena Bahudashrutam Bahu Vyaharata Anena Nakinchit Apashabditam. He has spoken for such a long time. Nyunam Vyakaranam Kritsnam. And look at his grammar, there is no fault at all. Even after speaking for such a long time, he has not uttered a single mistake. Nyunam Vyakaranam Kritsnam Anena Bahudashrutam Bahu Vyaharata Anena Nakinchit Apashabditam. And again Rama continues his analysis of Hanuman's speech. Adbhutam, Avilambitam, Avyatham, Urastam Kantagam Vakyam Vartate Madhyameswaram. Adbhutam, oh, wonderful is his speech. Avilambitam, it is not dragged for a long time. Avyatham, no dissonance at all in his speech. Urastam Kantagam Vakyam, it comes from three places, mouth, throat, and then from the heart, and from the navel. It comes from three places, and it is so pleasant. And he continues further. Samskara Kama Sampannam Avilambitam Ucharayati Kalyani Vacham Hrudayaharshinam. And his speech is so properly ordered that it is causing pleasure to my heart. And he also says that if we had a messenger like this, we can conquer the three worlds. That Sugriva is very fortunate to have a messenger like Hanuman. Isn't it, Lakshmana? Then Lakshmana starts talking to Hanuman. And Rama further says that if an enemy lifts a sword to kill, if you talk like Hanuman, then even that enemy would cast off his anger and put down his sword. Such a sweet talker is Hanuman. That is the greatness of Hanuman. We see all these Japanese cartoons or so many cartoons on Ramayana about Hanuman. They show him as muscular, masculine body, but they miss out on this point about his soft speech, and about his intelligence, about his presence of mind, and about his knowledge of all the Vedas, and above all, he recognized Rama as and when he saw Ramachandra. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvam ahameva vedyo vedanta krid vidvedeva chaham. That means I am the essence of all the Vedas. Here Rama said the same thing. Nan Rigveda vinitaha, nan Yajurveda darinaha, nan Samaveda vidushaha, sakyameva prabhashitum. One who has not mastered all the three Vedas cannot talk like this. So since Hanuman knows the essence of Vedas, he immediately recognized Rama and Lakshmana. This is a wonderful meeting. Hanuman comes and he talking and he is questioning. He lost his composure and he questioned, Evam mam paribhashantam kasmad vaina abhibhashitaha. I have been talking like this, why are you not talking? He questioned Rama. Unlike Surpanaka and Khara and Dushana, and of course all the sages who have come to Rama, they have not praised him like this. They have come there to ask some help or benediction. Surpanaka came to ask Rama to marry her. She came with a vicious intention. The sages came seeking refuge in Rama for a shelter. But Hanuman came without any selfish intent. He came there and he came there in a disguise. But just by looking upon Rama, he introduced himself as Hanuman and cast off everything, and he told the truth that I have been encouraged by Sugriva to take this Bhikshurupa, but my actual form is Kapi, and he showed it to Rama. He showed his true identity. He first introduced himself and then he questioned, who are you? Why are you here? How come you are here in this forest? Then when Rama encouraged Lakshmana to talk to Hanuman, then Lakshmana spoke to Hanuman. He says, my dear Hanuman, he is the son of that Dasaratha, for whom Sita is the daughter-in-law. This is how he introduced Dasaratha there. Sita, for whom Sita is the daughter-in-law of that Dasaratha, Rama is the son. And he, being exiled to this forest upon the word given by my father to Kaikeyi, and he is here treading the path of the righteous. And he, Lokanatha, he is the Jagannatha, he is the Lord of the universe, and he today is seeking shelter under Sugriva, your king, Sugriva. We are here in search of Ravana, who has abducted Sita, my brother's wife, who is like my own mother, that Janaki. We are in search of that Ravana. We hope and wish that Sugriva will help us in our search for that Rakshasa Ravana. And when Hanuman has spoken, when Lakshmana introduced Rama and himself, he didn't introduce himself yet. And Lakshmana continues that upon my brother, when he was exiled to the forest, I followed him like a faithful servant. And here I am, the servant of Rama. He describes himself as a dasa. Here, Lakshmana. He doesn't tell him that I am Lakshmana, son of Dasaratha. He says I am brother of Rama and I am his servant. Because my brother is world charming and his character is such noble and he is so righteous and virtuous, I have followed him and I became a servant to all his nobilities, to all his characters, to all his good, good traits. I have become a servant to his good traits. When he said that Hanuman, then he introduced Sugriva. He says, I am the minister of Sugriva. Sugriva is staying on the hill of Rishamukha with his 4 faithful adherents. He has been driven away by his brother Vali, and he is constantly in fear of such valiant Vali. So he is trembling in fear, and not knowing when he would be killed by Vali, he has been roaming all over the planet. Finally, he settled down on this hill, Rishamukha. I am his minister, Hanuman. You please come with me. I will take you and introduce you to Sugriva. And let the friendship between you and Sugriva get established. And when Hanuman said this, and then he took the form of a Vanara, and then he took Rama and Lakshmana, and the path was in such a way that only a monkey can traverse. And now Sugriva has travelled a long distance by jumping. He is not near Rishamukha hill. He has already jumped and went to near the hermitage of Matanga Muni, which is on Malaya Parvata. So such distance, Hanuman wanted to take them quickly, so he took them on his shoulders, and then he traversed that path and he quickly went to Rishamukha hill. And then again he put Rama and Lakshmana down. This is all not mentioned in detail, but when he goes and meets Sugriva, again he is in the form of a Brahmana, because he didn't want Sugriva to panic. See, Valmiki Ramayana is so natural, it's not like, if you see it, he did not cast away his form and immediately go there in front of Sugriva. He took again the Brahmana form. Maybe he could have explained Rama and Lakshmana, or Rama and Lakshmana could have understood, they are so smart, they need no explanation, right? That, okay, since Sugriva encouraged him to take the Brahmana form, it is meet and right that Hanuman take back that form, otherwise, Sugriva will be scared to death and then he will jump from here. So Hanuman took the Brahmana form again and then he went in front of Sugriva. Then he introduced Rama and Lakshmana. He tells everything about Rama and Lakshmana to Sugriva, that, "Oh Sugriva, you know about Dasaratha, aren't you? Dasaratha is a supreme king on this planet when he was alive. He performed many yajnas, Agnishtoma and Aswamedha Yaga. Such Dasaratha, who gave thousands of cows in donation to the priest, such Dasaratha's son is Rama. He is great in nature. He is the treader of the path of the righteous. Now he is exiled to the forest by his father, because his father gave a promise to Kaikeyi to keep his father established in Satya and Dharma. Rama, to keep his father's word true, he came to the forest renouncing the kingdom. And he has been followed by his wife Janaki and Lakshmana, his brother Lakshmana. But his wife Janaki has been abducted by Ravana. Now he seeks your shelter. Take his hand and become a friend to him." Why did Hanuman introduce Rama like this? Some acharyas commented that maybe you might think that because he is exiled and his wife is also lost, just like you are also exiled, you might consider him as your equal. But do not do that mistake. He is the son of Dasaratha. He has not been thrown out of the kingdom. He, upon his own will, he got out of the kingdom, and because he is treading the path of the righteous. He introduced Rama like that to Sugriva. And when Sugriva knew all this, then Hanuman welcomed Rama and Lakshmana. He brought them forward and then he introduced Rama and Lakshmana to Sugriva. Then Sugriva, his first sentence itself by looking at Rama was, "Bhavan dharma vinitasya sutapaha sarvavatsalaha akhyata vayuputrena tatvato me bhavadgunaha." Very beautiful sloka. You might think Sugriva is just a fickle-minded monkey. A lot of people introduce Sugriva like that. But Sugriva is also the knower of all the Vedas. Rama tells in Yuddhakanda, when Sugriva tells, "Do not take Vibhishana into the camp. He who has abandoned his own brother might, be a trouble to all of us too." Then Rama says, "Sugriva, you have spoken just like a person who has read all the Vedas. One who has not read all the Vedas cannot speak like you." He says, Rama compliments Sugriva there too. So like that, Sugriva here, beautiful, and he gives us a beautiful word, Sarvavatsalaha. Rama is not Bhaktavatsala, Rama is not Dharmavatsala, Rama is not, Ishtajana, what do you call, Bhaktajana Rakshaka, or, Asritajana Pakshapati, Asritajana Vatsala. He is Sarvavatsala. He is a benign well-wisher of all living entities. Sugriva gives that word. Bhavan dharma vinitasya sutapaha sarvavatsalaha akhyata vayuputrena tatvato me bhavadgunaha. O treader of the path of the righteous and a benign well-wisher of all living entities, Hanuman has introduced you to me in brief. I know about your qualities. O Lord, today I take your shelter too. Sugriva says that. Then he offers his hand in front and says, "My dear Rama, here is my arm. Please grab it and assure me that you are my friend." This shake hand thing is not an English culture. It has been in our culture since a long time. So Sugriva is asking Rama to shake hands. Then Rama clasped his hands tightly. Then he pulled him and embraced Sugriva and said, "My dear Sugriva, I am so glad that you are here for me." And then Sugriva immediately looked around and he saw a salavruksha which was full of flowers. He broke that salavruksha, one branch of that salavruksha, and put it down, and he asked Rama to sit on it. And Rama sat on it, Sugriva also sat on it. Meanwhile, Lakshmana, was offered a seat by Hanuman. Hanuman looked around and he saw a sandalwood tree. He broke that sandalwood tree and then he placed it and he asked Lakshmana to sit on that sandalwood tree. So Rama and Sugriva sat on the salavruksha. Salavruksha is sal tree. For those of you who don't know what sal tree is, if you know the railway sleepers, they are made from sal tree because it has got least coefficient of expansion and contraction so that the railway tracks will be intact. But anyways, we studied long back. So salavruksha. So on that, Rama and Sugriva sat, and on sandalwood tree, Hanuman and Lakshmana sat, and then they conversed with each other. Then Sugriva introduced himself to Rama. "My dear Rama, I am the brother of Vali. We are the sons of Riksharajas. And my wife is, stolen away by Vali. She has been usurped, and I have been driven away from the kingdom of Kishkinda. And I am in constant fear of that Vali. And I am here in this Rishamukha hill and Malaya Parvata, which has been empowered by the curse of Matangamani. That if Vali and his adherents enter the vicinity of this Matanga ashrama, then they would die. This is the curse given by Matanga Rishi. So that's why he doesn't enter this premises. And this is where I took shelter. I have been roaming all over the planet, and Hanuman told me to stay here, so since then I have been staying here. And I am in constant fear of that Vali." Then when Rama listened to all this, then he felt little sad, and he said, "Sugriva, I will get rid of your fears." Then meanwhile, Sugriva, when he clasped the hand of Rama, he asked Hanuman to fetch some faggots and kindle a fire. Hanuman fetched some dry faggots and he kindled a fire in the same way, Adhararani and Uttararani. Adhararani is the wood that you keep in the bottom and Uttararani on the top, and then he churned it, created the fire, and he kindled a fire there. And Rama and Sugriva took vows in front of that fire that we are friends. Then Sugriva told to Rama, "From today, my dear Rama, your suffering is my suffering. Ekena sukha, ekena dukkha. Your suffering is my suffering, your happiness is my happiness. So we are friends from today." Then Rama asked him, "What is the cause for the enmity between you and your brother?" Sugriva describes all his troubles. Then Rama tells, "I will kill that Vali in this instance itself. I will deprive that Vali of his life. Cast off all your fears, Sugriva. Look at this arrow, how sharp it is. Sharp are their points and straight is its egress. When I shoot it, it goes straight and kills the Vali. It never misses its target. And I have not uttered a word in vain. And this is my promise. Do not worry, Sugriva." And Sugriva and all his adherents, they were happy looking at Rama's vow. Then he asked, then when Rama promised this, Sugriva said, "My dear Rama, I have heard about all your story that you are searching for Sita. I have seen once a lady being abducted by Ravana, and she was wailing, and I have seen her in the sky, and she has wrapped around some jewels and flung it onto the ground, and I was the fifth Vanara on that hill to see those jewels, and then I picked them up. We have been storing those jewels here, and I will bring it for you." And then Sugriva walked towards his cave. Now he goes and then fetches a bundle which was tied in the ochre silk saree of Sita, Uttariya. Her upper cloth she removed, she tied, and then she threw it down. And Sugriva fetched those jewels. Then he bought it in front of Rama. And then when Rama saw that silk saree, which was a little dirty because of the mud, because Sita was wandering around, immediately his eyes were moistened. He became like the moistened moon in the misty sky. And then he said, Lakshmana, unbearable is the pain, that is caused because of the appearance of this saree. I cannot see the jewels. You look at them and tell me, or do they belong to your mother Sita? Then Lakshmana looked at them and said, Naham janami keyure, naham janami kundale, abhijanam nupure abhijanati nityam padabhi vandanat. He says, I don't know these keyuras, which you keep to the, which women wore around at this point. And naham janami kundale, I don't know the earrings of Sita. Abhijanati nupure, I know these anklets, these bracelets tied to the feet of Sita, because nityam padabhi vandanat, I always fall prostrate on her feet. I always take the blessings from her. At that time I saw these anklets. I remember these, my brother. How much the younger prince's heart would have been troubled on that fateful day when Sita was abducted, when she uttered those painful words. One can imagine. But it can be justified with the same accusations that Lakshmana made on Bharata, so he had to bear that accusation from Sita too. So, it's a cycle. If you accuse somebody, you get accused too. But anyway, today Lakshmana says, I cannot recognize any other ornaments, but I know these anklets, these belong to Sita, my mother. I know it for sure. Then when Rama saw that, then he took up his bow and stood again. He said, I will destroy that Ravana. Sugriva, you tell me where that Ravana is right now. I want to go and kill that Ravana. Then Sugriva was for a moment perturbed, and he said, my dear Lord, for a Lord like you, for a person who has mastered all the Vedas, and for a learned man like you, it is not meet and right that you be overtaken by grief and anger. Be composed. I know not the whereabouts of Ravana, but when I find him, I shall kill him. I shall kill him myself. But until then, you bear your patience. You be composed. Please return back to your normal nature. If I, a monkey, can withhold such grief of losing wife and kingdom, what to speak about a man of your caliber? My lord, please return back to your natural form. Then when Sugriva spoke like that, then Rama said, my dear Sugriva, you have spoken aptly like a friend should speak. Isn't it difficult to find such a friend like you, especially at this moment, at these times? Right? Rama is in trouble. In times of trouble, it is very difficult to find a friend. You go and tell somebody your anguish, they would look down upon you. They think you are weak. You are in trouble. You're waste. When you are happy, when you are in great mood, when you are gallant, when you are getting all the things right, then everybody appreciates you. Everybody stands beside you. But when you are in trouble, there is no friend to you. Rama tells the same thing. Especially at these times, in difficult times, it is very difficult to find a friend such as you. I am very glad, Sugriva, you have very well spoken. And then he embraced Sugriva. Then Sugriva broke again a salavruksha, then put it down, and Rama and Sugriva sat on it. Then Hanuman, this time he broke a salavruksha, not a sandalwood. He broke a salavruksha now, and both of them sat there. You may ask, just now they broke a couple of branches, now again they broke another branch, what's going on? Aren't they environmental friendly or what? No, that's not the reason. First they were talking near Matanga Muni's ashrama, right? Then when Sugriva remembered that he found that bundle of jewels, then it is in the Rishamukha hill. That's where Sugriva's cave is, Sugriva had this huge cave upon which there was a rock kept on it. It's vividly described. I didn't read this before I painted the huge painting where Hanuman was carrying Rama. I will bring it next time during Ramanavami. But it so happened that Sugriva's cave resembled exactly how we have imagined it. It is so, miraculous coincidence. But anyway, when Sugriva came back to this cave, and then fetched that bundle. There, there was no seat now. So he showed them, and after they had a long talk, then he broke another branch, because they are going to continue the talk, and then he put it there. And one might ask another question. Sugriva said, I don't know where Ravana is. How come he doesn't know Ravana? Is he putting his own interests in front of Rama's interests? No, you cannot blame Sugriva also. Sugriva will be a far more powerful ally as the lord of his tribe and the king of the Vanaras than being a fugitive Vanara prince or a false pretender to the throne, right? So that's why Sugriva says it is important that we kill Ravana first, Vali first, then we search for Ravana. So he says that my lord will kill Ravana later, but first let's set things right. Then he sits down and then he explains, my dear lord, I am the brother of Vali, and he has driven me out of the kingdom. He usurped my wife, and I have been living here with a single cloth on this Rishamukha hill. Then when he said that, Rama asked Sugriva, before I shoot my arrow, this fatal arrow into the heart of Vali, tell me the reason why you both brothers, who once upon a time were fond of each other, now became, vengeful foes. Then Sugriva started to narrate in detail. My dear Rama, once upon a time, me and my brother were the children of Riksharajas. Our father was Riksharajas. He established us here, and then when he left for heavens, then the ministers and our court people, they have anointed Vali as the king of Vanaras, king of Kishkinda. I agreed to it. I have been serving him as a dear brother. Once upon a time, a Rakshasa named Mayavi came at the door, at the gateway of Kishkinda, and he made a big clamor, shouting. Mayavi and Sugriva had a fight, had an old quarrel, had an old quarrel because of a lady, Even the girlfriend wars are there even since long time. They are not, the current day wars. So Vali and Mayavi had this, fight, had this enmity because of a lady. So Sugriva is detailing that Mayavi came here one day and he made a clamor at the gateway of Kishkinda. Then Vali was amidst of me and other women of the court. Me and the other ladies persuaded Vali not to go out, but Vali, the valiant warrior he is, he never minded our requests, and then he went out of the cave. Then that Mayavi called Vali, "Oh Vali, if you have any valor in you, come here and fight with me." Then Vali followed him, pursued Mayavi. Then I followed Vali, and when I came out, looking at both of us, Mayavi was frightened and he ran away. And it was actually night time. Rakshasas generally come in the night time, and then Vali and Sugriva pursued Mayavi. They ran, and then finally Mayavi entered into a cavernous cave. It was too deep. It was dark, and Vali requested me to stand at the entrance of the cave and guard the cave while he will go inside and then kill that Rakshasa. I agreed to the decree of my brother and then stayed outside that cave. Vali entered the cave, and 1 year passed, my dear Lord Ramachandra, but then my brother Vali has not returned inside the cave, and I heard moans, groans, and thumping of fists and several kinds of noises inside. And after 1 year, the frothing blood, foaming blood gushed out of that cave. I thought my brother was killed. And out of fear that the Rakshasa would come out of the cave and attack Kishkinda, I took a huge mountain boulder and placed it against that cave, and I lidded it. And then I waited there for another year, and Vali did not return. And then finally I came back to Kishkinda. When I came back, all my ministers, they pleaded me to become the king. If a kingless kingdom is susceptible to, is vulnerable to, is not immune to war. So people would attack it. So please be the king. When they requested thus, I became the king of Kishkinda. Then one day, like a bolt from the blue, my brother dropped in the middle of the court. Wrathful with anger, he stamping the ground, he advanced towards me. And I fell on his feet and bowed down. I touched, with my crown on his feet and asked him, my dear brother, I have been orphaned for so long because of your assuming that you are dead. But now that you have come here, now again I feel as if a child got back his parents. Now you rule Kishkinda and myself, in peace. But my brother cried out in anger that this fellow, Sugriva, this base fellow, my brother, once you all know that I have pursued Mayavi to kill that Rakshasa. But then when the Rakshasa entered the cave, I asked Sugriva to stand at the entrance of the cave and guard it. But when I entered, I couldn't find the Rakshasa Mayavi. And then I explored the entire cave. I went deep inside the cave. And then I found all his relatives, kith and kin. Finally, I killed all of them. One might ask, what is the use of Vali if he is killed by Rama? Why did Vali appear in the first place? Because Brahma asked all these Vanaras to take Vanara forms and then help Ramachandra. Similarly, Vali also appeared as the son of Indra. What is the need of Vali? This is the purpose of Vali, to kill other Rakshasas in caves and gutters and all the places. So Vali killed all the Rakshasas there, and then finally he found Mayavi, and then he also whacked him to death, and then that blood flowed outside the cave. And then when I killed him, when I saw the cave was lidded, I couldn't find a path out. One might wonder, are caves so deep, so long? Yes, they are. Once I went for spelunking in Fall Creek Falls Cave in Tennessee. The cave was 8 miles deep. So rickshaw, and there are caves mentioned in Vindhya mountains also. But anyway, this cave was so deep. So that cave, I couldn't find a way out. It was lidded. So finally I found my way, and then I kicked that boulder with my leg, and then it went out. When Sugriva describes the strength of Vali, he says, my brother Vali plays with big boulders and mountain peaks just as if it is a ball. And if you see the region of Kishkinda, which is near Hampi, this entire mountain looks like it's crumbled and it's full of stones, because Vali might have, arranged all those things. But anyway, I kicked out that boulder, and finally I made my way to Kishkinda. And now here I see this wretched fellow on the throne, enjoying all the luxuries. And so saying, he kicked him, and he also imprisoned all my ministers, all my kith and kin. There are some friends to Sugriva, and Vali also knew that, all these friends, and then he imprisoned them. Finally, he kicked me out of the kingdom, and these faithful adherents, namely Tara, Neela, Nala, and Hanuman, followed me. Jambavan did not follow because he's an old man. While Ramayana doesn't detail why Jambavan did not follow Sugriva. But anyway, I'm here with my faithful adherents. This is my story, Rama. Then Rama said, Sugriva, I will kill that Vali today itself. As you know, these powerful arrows, I have been given many missiles, I have all the Divyastras, but, Rama doesn't describe all those. He says, I can kill that Vali in an instant. Come, show me the Vali. But then Sugriva says, my dear Rama, Sugriva wants to jeopardize their newborn friendship, He says, before you kill Vali, I want to narrate his strength. Because, Sugriva doesn't know the strength of Rama. So he wants to narrate the strength of Vali. Should we do it next week? It will take an hour. So, we'll do it next week. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Next week we will discuss about the exploits of Vali and how Rama is going to kill Vali. So with that we'll